Hi guys, welcome to Soul Connections. I'm your host, Jo Labbé, here with Star Nation's radio network, Caribbean Live TV. And today is all about you connecting with your soul and healing yourself. I am just a conduit, a guide who helps facilitate any healing that you are ready to do for yourself. So whether you have things coming up in a physical plane, aches and pains that you would like released, or if you are having emotional things come up, we can work on those. Even if you have like thought patterns and beliefs that seem to be getting in your way, those are another thing that you can work on as part of your healing journey with us this evening. And it is my soul's mission to heal the healers so that you guys can get out there and do what it is you are meant to do to heal the planet. So that is what we're doing here. So as part of our, getting the word out there and getting the healing to as many people as possible, I'm going to invite you to like and share this broadcast, because maybe there's someone you know who's in need of healing, even if you are unaware of it. And that's the best way for us to get out there. It also allows our broadcast to show up. Facebook has certain algorithms where it allows it to be seen in people's news feeds. So by you liking and sharing it, or even loving and sharing and commenting, that really helps us along. At the end of our meditation, I will do messages by pulling cards for people and telling you what the cards are saying to me, or what my guides are saying to me about the relevance of the card for you. And today's deck is based on the Sacred Earth Oracle. And this is a deck that's created by Tony Carmen Salerno and Leela Williams. And it carries a lot of earth energy vibration. We are, coming into Friday. We will hit the new moon. We've already been experiencing the hiccups of some planets going in retrograde. And then 2 weeks from Friday, we will have the full moon. And when we have the full moon, there will be a lunar eclipse as well, and that will be visible in other parts of the country, not here, but we will still be tapped in and feeling that vibration. So you can use all of this earth energy to do some clearing for yourself, and when you clear yourself, you help clear the planet. So let's see who's on deck at the moment. So if you want a card pulled for you, the protocol is just to type in yes please, or I would love a card, something like that. It helps us get that out there. Hi, Rochelle. Nice to see you. Glad to have you on board. Carol, terrific. How are you doing? It's nice to see you. And Christine, my goodness. Cassandra, I was just thinking about you like minutes before the broadcast happened. So, of course, we must have been psychically connected to have you come forth today. Hi, Margaret. Nice to see you. And of course, I will share a card for you guys. And I have had a couple people who messaged me that will be listening to the archives. And if you're watching this after we've broadcast, you can still type in yes, please into the comments. And I will pull a card for you when I receive the message. So usually not too long. But I have been extremely busy the last few days. The healing energy has been on fire here at Trinity Healing Sanctuary, and also at our school, Trinity School of Mystical Energy Healing. I did 13 hours of healing work yesterday and 11 today. So that gives you an idea of how much juice might be running through the building today. So you get to tap into that and use that to help yourself. Which is really cool. I really appreciate how often, we can be in service simply by showing up, right? Just show up and be there for somebody else. Hear them, see what they need, and just be there. Be that listening ear. How often has that been healing for you? So if you're listening to this after the fact, don't be afraid to type in. I always pull cards for at least, a few people, if not half a dozen. So you are welcome to receive a reading in that way as well. So we're going to give it a couple more minutes. I usually wait. So if anybody has questions about how to work on some of their own energy healing, not on Wednesday evenings, or how to do it by yourself, feel free to type in those questions to me. I'm happy to answer that. I know a number of people know that meditation is good to tap into their energy, but there are other ways to check it if that's not your thing. Some people really tune into their energy at the beach or at the water or in a walk in nature. They really start to feel their connection, and then they can sense when there's something out of balance. But the biggest way to know something is out of alignment is if you feel physical pain in any part of your body, or if you've got things emotionally coming up that seem a little out of proportion. Because we sometimes get really angry over something, right? And it doesn't warrant the amount that we're feeling. That's when we have old energy that's propelling that anger forward, or that sadness. And so that's another place that you might have blockages. Because our energy body, stores things in the physical, the emotional, the mental, and all of those thoughts and beliefs and spinning ideas. And then also in the spiritual level, believe it or not, because if it has to do with our faith, or whether we have that sensation that we are worthy of receiving everything that we are capable of, or if we have a hard time tapping into all the possibilities that are out there that the universe can actually provide, if we have a limited belief system, then those can be blocking us on a spiritual level and in the spiritual part of our energy body. So we will hit all of those in your meditation this evening. So I'm really glad you guys are here. So for those of you who haven't been here, during one of my healing meditations, I do make noises to clear the energy for the group. And I don't know where it came from or who it comes from. So I'm not tapping in and reading your mind. I am just moving energy that doesn't serve any longer. And so it often comes through kind of as a burp kind of noise. Sometimes you hear a squawk that's kind of like a little bit of a hawk sounding to it. And then the other way, more recently, that's been happening in the past few weeks, is sometimes there's an ancient voice or voices that come through. At the moment, there tends to be a male voice that starts speaking. It sounds very native, but it's ancient. It's older than that. And in the past few days, there's been a feminine voice that comes through as well. And the feminine voice tends to sing, which is interesting because I am not somebody who's comfortable singing. And, that has been coming up for clearing in the last couple days. So I am just checking in to see who else is here. I will pull a card for you, Liz. Oh, hi, Lindsay. Yes, you can listen to this later in the week. And I can't wait to see you. Oh, that means you're coming to class. So those of you, last little bit of housekeeping, those of you who are in the area in Western Massachusetts or, within a couple hours drive, tomorrow night we are having an amazing class with Ed Langen, and it is on the law of attraction. And he is a channel for the Ascended Masters, and his specialty is to help you heal your toxic energy around money, because that blocks us from having abundance in all aspects of our lives. So his class tomorrow is here at Trinity Healing Sanctuary from 6 to 8 p.m. And then for those of you who are called to do healing for animals, because a number of us are, we are having Karen Kierstead, who's one of my third-year students, who will be here teaching Animal Reiki 1. And because it's It's a new offering here at the sanctuary. It's only $50 for a 4-hour class. I mean, that's just mind-blowing for a certification, and it allows you to help start, healing your little four-leggeds, or your bird or reptiles and all of that as well. So if you're in the area, feel free to let us know, and we would love to have you. So I saw some lovely people I know. Hello, Carol. Carol is my godmother, and she is up here. She's not out. I will see her in a couple days. She's up in Maine, my favorite place in Maine. And we are going to hang out in a couple days, so that'll be fun. Hi, Gail. Nice to see you. And hi, Dad. Great to have you on board tonight. And Neshi said hi. I forgot to change my profile to comment. No worry, Neshi. I know that you're chakra sessions because I'm not the one commenting at the moment. So yes, and I'm looking forward to seeing you too, Carol. I can't wait. You and Beth, give hugs to Beth for me. Woohoo! Nice to see you. All right, so if you want a card drawn for you after the meditation, just put in yes, please, and I will pull a card for you. So now take a moment to get yourselves kind of comfortable. You want to sit with your arms and legs uncrossed. That way you're not blocking any energy circuits. And we're going to begin by calling in the divine energy, however you connect to that, however you perceive that. So if you connect through your connection to God or Goddess, Creator, Universe, Oneness, Consciousness, all that is, just take a moment to connect to your interpretation and your pathway to the divine.
Yeah.
And we ask the divine energy to surround and protect us in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light. And remembering that the bubble is above us, below us, in front of us, behind us, and on either side of us.
Yeah.
And we ask that this sacred healing be for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves. I invite you to call in your spiritual team, all the members that you have, whether they're your angels or your guides or your teachers or your guardians or the star beings or your animals, all divine energy of the highest, fullest, and brightest vibration available to you in this moment of now.
Yeah.
And we begin by calling in the energy to begin clearing our crown, the top of our head, opening our connection to spirit, to the divine, releasing any doubt, any worry that we may be holding.
Yeah.
And also releasing any energy about not being enough.
Yeah.
For you are full and you always have been. Exactly the way you are meant to be. And bringing the energy into your third eye and allowing it to clear away any spinning thoughts or ideas or beliefs that may be keeping you from being who you fully are. Opening your perception, calming any distracted energy, that part of you that may be worried about things that happened in the past, or that part of you that is worried about that to-do list of things that there is to do in the future. And really calling your energy back home inside your physical vessel, your being in this moment.
Yeah.
And reconnecting to all of your senses, as well as your intuition, and guiding them to work together as a team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And beginning to open the pathways of communication that you have with your spiritual team, wherever those connections are in your entire body, so that you can hear and be heard, you can see and be seen, not only with the divine energy, but with others as well. And that you can hold space and hear and see other people when they are communicating with you.
Yeah.
And opening any channels of flow of creativity, of self-expression, any blocked aspects of who you are and who you are meant to be.
Gonna eat ya. Praise God.
Allowing the energy to clear in your throat. All of the words that have been left unsaid or held onto in anger or fear. Releasing any of the stress and tension and anxiety that you may have been holding onto.
Yeah.
Any energy blocking the truth of your personal truth being expressed and held.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I ate ya.
And releasing all the burdens that you carry for yourself, for others, and releasing all those responsibilities in this moment so that you may simply be here in this healing moment for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
For we are gathered here this evening for your healing.
Yeah.
Really opening your communication with your heart, your compassion, your love, and releasing any sadness, grief, disappointment that you may be holding on to, any old hurts, any woundedness that your inner child may be carrying for you.
Yeah.
Giving the inner child space to breathe, filling that with love and compassion, forgiveness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Making room for your joy and your excitement and wonder to come back in and be fully present here and now.
Yeah, I ate ya. Gonna eat.
And accessing the energy in your heart connected to the inner adult. The part of you that gets busy in the doing and forgets about the being.
Yeah.
releasing all the stress that it is carrying.
Ja. Ja.
And just making room for the adult to stop and breathe for a moment. And just be in a comfortable space of you.
Rồi ja. Ja.
And connecting with your inner warrior, that part of you that is ready to go to battle for that which you are here to heal on the planet. But in this moment, the warrior can be at peace as well. No need for hypervigilance. Can relax and breathe.
Ja.
And feel comfort in the moment.
Ja.
So it is ready, but in a calm and peaceful way.
Ja.
And communicating with the inner sage, that elder wise one that you've carried with you in each and every lifetime. The one that accesses all of the knowledge that you've ever accumulated and allows it to pop into your awareness, your thought when you are open to receiving it.
Ja.
Who guides you to your Akashic records when needed. It truly is the voice of the wisdom that you carry.
Ja.
Clearing any clutter that you may have there, anything that may be blocking your truth and your wise one from communicating with you openly, honestly.
Ja. Ja.
And now connecting the energy of your third chakra in your solar plexus. Any old fear or anger that you are holding on to there.
Rồi na i. Ja.
Releasing any overwhelm, anxiety, or stress.
Ja. Ja.
And any energy that is squeezing your self-confidence, your self-worth, or your self-esteem.
Ja.
Giving you moments to be open to who you are, with no judgment, no resentment, no shame, blame, or guilt, just allowing all of that to dissolve.
Ja.
Release or even burn up in smoke, whatever feels best for you. Letting go of the righteous anger that you've held on to, that eats away at you.
Bộ này gì? Ja.
Or it literally eats at you. And bringing your personal fire back into balance.
Ja. Ja.
So that it is a well-tended fire, not one smoldering out or one burning out of control, but truly
Ja.
in the fullness of the fire and the desire and passion connected to your fire energy. Ways for you to take action in a loving and positive way rather than reacting to your environment or circumstances.
Joicha. Ja.
And moving down into the second chakra below the navel, accessing
Ja.
all of the energy connected to your feelings. Any feelings that you've held on to that weren't okay to be expressed by society, by your family, in your relationships, and just really allowing the feelings to flow, all of them equally, for they are the radar that allows you to evaluate the energy around you.
Ja.
And also bring our energy in relationship to others into balance, into a state of harmony, of giving and receiving, and releasing the energy of taking, hoarding, holding on to, that some people do, or using their love as a weapon that you have to earn. Really releasing that. And any energy you're holding on to through addictions, whether they're your addictions to alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, food, money, gambling, spending, sex, really just bring that energy back into balance. It can also be related to you through people you are connected to or as part of your family of origin. But if you are carrying that energy, you are able to release it in this moment if you so choose.
Ja.
Bringing the water back into an ebb and flow. And then bringing the energy down through your hips and into the root chakra near the base of your tailbone. Really bringing into balance any energy
Ja.
connected to family, finances, safety, and security. And allowing yourself to create a new foundation for yourself in this moment. Bringing balance to the right and the left sides of the body. Bringing balance and harmony to the masculine and feminine energy that resides within you.
Ja.
Bringing balance into the physical and the emotional and the spiritual aspects of your life as well.
Ja. Ja.
Now taking a moment to check in with your body, and if there's anywhere within you that you are feeling discomfort, tightness, pain, just ask the divine energy to send healing to that particular place, like the center of your back, into your belly, into your hips, your knees, your feet, and allow that energy to slowly dissolve. There's no need for you to hang on to the pain in this moment.
Ja.
And encourage the energy to move down your legs and your feet, through the floor, through the ground, through your roots that go through miles and miles deep beneath the earth's surface. And if you are having trouble envisioning these roots and the way you are planted here as an earth being, then you can also imagine an umbilical cord connecting your heart to the heart of the Earth Mother herself, right in the very molten lava center. And we want to connect all the way down to the Earth's heart. For in her heart is held the original energy of creation, pure, untouched. And then we ask the Earth, Grandmother, Mother, to cleanse and restore us with that energy, to fill up those places that may feel broken or empty or cleared. And just allow that energy to begin to come in. And it may feel like mud filling this healthy, thick mud, or you may experience it as golden honey, or some other way that calls to you in your connection with the earth. But allowing it to begin filling in all those nooks and crannies of places where we let go of stuck energy. And by filling those places with original creation, we can call new amazing things into our lives. So bringing that energy through your feet and your legs, filling in the spaces in your knees, up your thighs,
Rồi chạy. Rồi nè.
and really allowing it to move into your hips, filling your entire pelvic floor fully and completely. And then allowing it to move in through underneath your navel and fill all your organs. Giving your organs a little time to breathe and not have to work so hard. Releasing the struggle. Allowing them to fill and quiet.
Rồi nè. Dạ.
Even calming your adrenal glands. For in this moment there is no fear, no flight, no fight that is necessary. Feeling that peace with love and acceptance.
Rồi này nè.
And then calling the energy back up through your lungs and your heart. As it fills in your heart, just imagine your heart stretching to hold even more love and compassion for yourself and for others.
Dạ.
And compassion for our connectedness.
Dạ.
Allow that energy to begin to spill down your shoulders and your arms into your hands so that everything you touch can be filled with this healing, divine energy. And calling the energy to move up through your throat, filling you with your authentic truth and your full voice, your uniqueness. Clearing your ears and your eyes, releasing the tension in your jaw, and moving all the way up through your brain, bringing peace and calm there, so that you may sleep more deeply and more fully and wake feeling rested, and allowing the energy to cascade out of the top of your crown and over your body, over your auric layers, and begin restoring and repairing your aura. And remembering that the aura is above us and below us, in front of us and behind us, and on either side of us. And repairing any cracks, crevices, tears, holes that life, our environment, our trauma may have created. Filling in those spaces to create stronger boundaries, a stronger personal bubble, so that we can feel safe and confident in who we are in a physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual way. And even sending the repairing energy out through your past lives and any karma you may have accumulated.
Joye naraye. Roskaye.
And now taking a moment to send healing to those who have prayed for help or prayed for guidance or healing. And just allowing that energy to go forward to those who are in need and who it is for their highest best.
Yeah.
And sending energy and healing back to the earth and her chakras, and allowing her to receive healing for all that she does to love and support us.
Yeah.
Providing us food and shelter, safety and security.
Yeah.
And take a moment to thank your spiritual team for being here with you now and always.
Ronaye. Yeah.
And you can begin to call your energy back into this moment, back into your physical body.
Yeah.
And as you do that, you can become aware of your bones and your muscles. You can feel gravity pushing down on you. You may hear or smell things in your environment. And just really come back into the present. Perfect. Welcome back. So those of you who haven't turned my talking before, you got to hear it. We did not have the singing, so that was interesting, but at least the talking was here.
Yeah.
So I am going to go back through and pull cards now. So if you would like a reading, a message through the cards, I will do that for you. I'm going to start with the ones who messaged me earlier because I don't want to forget them. So Rob, hope you're enjoying yourself. Here is your card. This is Core. So this is a time when you need to tap into the energy in your core. And it's a term we use a lot in, energy healing. People talk about it in martial arts because it's like the center of your soul and where it resides in your physical being. So anything in your life that is out of sorts or out of balance, all can be brought back to harmony by bringing yourself back to center. And that is true when we are worried about what is going to happen or worried about what might happen. We get spinning, right? And we hand our energy and our power away to other people and to other things. The big thing for a lot of people is when they hand their power away to money. Money is a big one. I know I've handed my power over to money a number of times. And when I've done that, I'm out of alignment because then I'm in a place of disbelief where I may not believe that the divine can provide for me and think that money is more powerful than the divine. And I'm just using money as a example because that is true for a lot of people. It may not be what is out of alignment for you. So whether it is that's out of balance, or your physical life and your spiritual life aren't in proper balance, you want to bring your energy back to the core, back to your center, and really allow yourself to be even-footed is how they're describing it to me. You need to be even-footed, right and left. We walk with both our legs. When we use them properly, we can move forward in our physical and spiritual life at the exact same instant. Whew. All right, Julie, your card is renewal. So renewal is, basically what that is saying. It is this brand new energy that is coming, and it is flourishing within you, and it is a renewed sense of hope and renewed sense of who you are, and it's a rejuvenation of your whole energy, and it's like a rebirthing process. So really reach in and allow whatever wants to unfold. Like, I see it as a new flower, like whatever is budding and just wants to come out into bloom, just allow that, because it may be a newer, brighter version of you. So that's that renewed energy, that new sense of you, and that is ready to be birthed. And I see you by the water as that is sort of coming more fully into your awareness. Perfect. All right, Christine. I'm going to take my name off of here so you can see the cards better. So your card is formation. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe it's better back here, but formation is a really cool card. It means the pieces are starting to come together of your energetic puzzle, your life puzzle, whatever's your lesson right now. And so you are in a percolating state of things. Things are beginning to come together for you. And so in the coming together, we often have to go through periods of falling apart. And so just allow this new version of you and your life to begin to unfold. Try not to control what's forming. And by that, I don't mean just sort of step back and, not do anything, but don't try to make things happen. Just be in awareness of, okay, this is new, and this is one of the things that must be forming, because the universe is providing you with something even better than you've allowed yourself to think of. So just as you are in this formation stage, just sort of breathe and allow these new things and the changes to unfold. And don't worry that they're bad. Don't mark them as bad, but really focus on this is bringing you something even better. How beautiful. All right, Cassandra. Your card is space. So the space card has a couple different meanings. And yours feels like you need more space. And I don't know if that's like a living situation or not, but really it's that you are becoming a bigger, fuller version of yourself, and you've been playing it small. And it's time for you to stretch your wings. It's time for you to grow. And so we need space to do that. And sometimes we literally need space to do that. And sometimes we just need a space to be in that will allow ourselves to do it. So like, people come here for healing to get more space. So they're given permission to expand who they are. And, through the school, we expand a lot into those spaces that we sort of been in these little tiny boxes and little containers. And we're all meant to be so much fuller than that. So give yourself a little breathing room, figure out what version of space fits you, and then find ways to create that. And a lot of that comes from self-healing. So tap into some of the self-healing that you could do. Nice. All right, Margaret. Love the artwork on these cards. This card is expectation. So this is a woman with her face to the sun, slightly tilted to the spiritual side. And what is birthing is a cross between a dragonfly, a butterfly, and a phoenix. So all the transformation energy that we can associate with is birthing, coming up her spine. And the sun is starting to shine out of her. It hasn't shown yet. So the transformation is working its way through you, through your chakras, through your energy system, and it's getting ready to be birthed. So expectation can be a good thing. We can be anxious, but excited, right? Like when you're having a new baby, there's like this fear of like, oh my gosh, what am I got myself into? And yet there's this miracle magic that's happening within you and that's about to be birthed. So allow yourself to be in a calm state in this expectation. Don't try to attach too much energy to it. Just allow it to be. And things that might feel like stress or panic or anxiety, try to find a way to flip them into that excitement, that child excitement. Like, ooh, I've got this, like, Christmas is coming and a present I get to unwrap, right? So allow yourself to be in that moment. Nice. All right, Rochelle. Nice. All right, so your card is Revolution, which is not as dangerous or as scary as that can sound. But this is time for you to say no more. This is not acceptable for me. And it feels like this is on a personal level. And it's not like you're revolting against the people around you. But, you and your body may not be in the best terms on communication terms. And so the only way your body may be communicating to you in this moment is by giving you pain or giving you symptoms or, causing emotional disturbances for you. And I'm using those specifics because that's kind of how I'm seeing it. And it's time for you to go, no, you don't need to send me signals in this way. I would like a different form of communication. And so as that happens, we have to put our foot down. And so in a way, it's this internal battle that you're having. But it's time for you to take control of your health and take control of what's going on for you. Hit my throat chakra, so we must be on the right path. Yep, let me get a drink. Hold on. Nice, because this is one that you might not want to hear. We hand away our power to our doctors and to our family and to our friends and allow them to tell us what's wrong with us. And then when we believe them, we create it within our being. So it is time for you to stop. And it is time for you to take control of your life and your health. And I apologize. Polly Jo apologizes that it came out harshly. But Spirit and your guides are being very direct because that's the way you need to hear it at this moment. So take control. We all need to. So there you go. All right, Carol. Your card is Perspective. So the card of perspective is when we have a lot of choices, we can spin in our old energy, or we can call on our spiritual team or the divine and get a higher vibration, a higher frequency. So instead of asking for somebody else's point of view, look within yourself and to your inner wise one, your elder, your sage that resides right in your heart, and ask your heart for a higher perspective. Because we get caught in thinking that things have to be the same way over and over and over again. But this is really about you tapping into a higher potential. And maybe nobody's seen that from you, or nobody else is willing to dream or reach for that. But, you are worth it. So really tap into your heart and get the fullest perspective on things that are coming up, because there's an opportunity for you to stretch and grow here. And I am holding the intention that you will have that for you, because we all deserve that. And we can all have it. All we have to do is reach within our own heart and listen. All right, Liz. Liz, your card is discernment. So discernment is when we get confused with other people's energy. We think that this happens a lot for empaths, right? We feel other people's feelings sometimes. So we experience their anger. We think it's ours. And then the next thing we know, we're angry about something when we were fine before that person walked in the door. This is a checking in point for you. Is this mine? So when you feel something in you and it feels weird, check in and see, is this energy mine? And if it's not, ask it to go back to who it is, with love and healing, not meanly, not like, get out of here, go back to where you came from. But I don't need to carry this for you. And so learning to differentiate, we've taught about codependency in the school. So discernment is when you realize that you are you and the other person is them, and that they can have their feelings and their thoughts and their beliefs, but you don't have to agree with them if it is not your truth. So really allowing yourself to separate and feel the difference between you and the others around you. Ooh, big night tonight. All right, Lindsay, Jerome, your card is patterns. So patterns are ways of us receiving messages. When things happen in repetition, it's usually a signal from the divine, from our spiritual team, that they're trying to communicate with us. So look for patterns in your life, even ones that have to do with beliefs, because sometimes we realize that we have a pattern of behavior that we do over and over again, and maybe it's not one that we want to do any longer. But you can also be looking for patterns in numbers, in the fact that you keep seeing the same type of animal. Look those up. Because numbers and animals are really an easy way for our angels especially to communicate with us, and our ancestors. And just look for the patterns, because, sacred geometry is all around us. And then you can start to get the idea of what the divine is trying to communicate with you, to you, through you. All of those, all the above. All right. Let's see. Okay. Now, Carol says yes. Beth says yes to a card. So I'm pulling a card for Carol too. She's got a lot of this team player who lets everybody else go first. So I'm going to do a card for both of you. So Carol, your card is first. Your card is revision. And this is a time for you to recreate, a sense of who you are. We get stuck in the way that everybody thinks of us and who we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to be. And sometimes that is suffocating. So it's time to kind of look at that and see what could be shifted so that you are more in alignment with who you are. You know, lots of times when we have that loving, nurturing mama energy, we put everybody else first. And then part of our energy body starts to feel like nobody gets us, nobody sees us. And so the divine sees you in every minute. So it's time for you to, you know, your life story is a book, right? And it's time for you to get to the editor and get some revisions in there and start to create some change so that you don't feel so stuck in some, I'm going to use the word relationships, but it doesn't necessarily mean with people that just aren't quite how you want them to be. And that is all about communication. But first you have to have the vision of what you would like to change. And then you learn how to create it. All right? Get to the drawing board on that one. All right. And Beth, your card is productivity. So this is a fruitful time for you. And it doesn't mean that you have to like get to work and get busy. It just means that you have a lot of creation energy going on. So if you want to create changes in your life, now is the time. Start imagining them. Start calling it in, you know. I know that, you know, you are, you know, this wonderful teacher. So call in who your students will be in the fall. Call in the energy of who you want to work with. Call in what you want to be able to share with them. Call in what you want to happen in your romantic life and with your friendships. Because this is the time to make those changes. And the clearer you get on how to do that, the faster it's going to come to you. It's like whoosh, superhighway. So really start using that creation energy to make new things, things that you've kind of always wanted that have been like hanging out in the back of your mind, you know, because there's no better time than right now. All right. So Minnie, oh, I love this card. I mean, I love all these cards, but this card is rediscovery, and it's your inner child. And the way the card is set up, I don't know if you can see this clearly from here, but you are inside your inner child, not your inner child inside of you. So rediscover that playful part of you, because your inner child has all the excitement, all the joy, all the wonder, and she loves to play. I'm seeing like you need to get out in nature and really get your playing on. And do it from a child's point of view. Because you know how excited they are when they see something new and they ooh and they ah over it. When we get into like our doing adult stuff, we forget how that feels and how invigorating that is. So, you know, really start rediscovering who you are on the inside and how you can bring that playful, joyful part of you out and reach even more people. And I'm sure it connects to your new show around, you know, switching to a more beautiful nature theme that feels very in alignment with your inner child. So I'm excited. All right, Jim. Your card is fortitude. So this is when we tap into our, I mean, this is literally your animal totem. So if you didn't watch yesterday's show, guys, for chakra sessions, we did a whole show on connecting to your animal totem. And it's really cool if you didn't get a chance to do it, because then you can learn how to talk to your animals and use their energy. But fortitude is really you finding your inner strength. Because sometimes we've got to deal with stuff that is not the easiest. That's part of our soul lesson, our life lessons. And having the strength to hold who you are and not cave to what somebody else wants for you or wants you to be. You know, we have these relationships that are meant to test us, to push our buttons. And this is a time for you to stand firm. And going back to the earlier card of core that I believe Rob had, finding your center and really checking in with your heart and allowing your heart to do it. Men are often taught fortitude by shutting down their heart, closing down their feelings. This is not what this means. So you don't get to shut down your feelings. This is a time to tap into your inner strength and feel all of them in a full way and be able to say, this is what I feel and this is what I need. And I am unwilling to move on this because that is my truth. That's what this fortitude card is about. And I'm not sure who you've got to put your foot down with, but I have an idea. And so you want to do that. All right, Neshi. This so fits you this week. So your card is efficiency. Nothing like publishing a magazine and dealing with, all sorts of new things, new shows and all sorts. So it is time for you to really tap into your efficiency, really sort of streamline what you're doing and how you're doing it. So be mindful that you want to do your stuff, your to-do list, from your being, not from your doing. So when you are being yourself, and you know this, you and I both have talked about this. When you are in your core and you have a lot to do, you just get it done. And so that's when you're being efficient. And stuff that's not in alignment, you're like, yeah, I can't do that right now. And you push that off your plate, or you hand it off and delegate it to somebody else if it's not what you need. So you have a bunch of things that you have to do. And so really keep your eye on, the vision of where you are meant to go, that sense of where you're headed. And if things on your list aren't going to get you there, then discard them or move them off, hand them to somebody else or an assistant, whatever you need to do. But it's time for that. Gail, your card is listen. It's interesting. Listen has come up a number of times with clients in the past 2 weeks or so. There's a difference between listening and hearing. And so when you are in a full listening mode, you aren't just hearing with your ear. You are feeling with your emotions. You're feeling with your energy system. You are seeing. So you are in a state of like hyper awareness, not from a fear place of like vigilance, but in a, what are all the ways that I can connect to my guides, and how are all the ways that I can tap into that? And sometimes it's just being quiet, because when we're surrounded by chaos and noise, we can't hear. We can't hear when our team is trying to speak to us. So it's a time for you to kind of like calm and be quiet a little bit, have moments of solitude, and just really start paying attention to new ways that you can listen and try to tap into your guides and how they're communicating with you. And I use guides as a general term, so it would be your ancestors or your angels, any member of your spiritual team, or how the divine is trying to get through you. All right. Cindy Lynn, it's really nice to have you back. It's good when we get to see friendly faces again. So your card, sweetheart, is balance. So this is about bringing your spiritual and your physical life back into balance. This is about bringing your sense of who you are back into balance. You might have even had some days where you were actually wobbly or dizzy. And that's when our energy is a little out of balance, out of alignment, out of harmony. And so this can also, be our masculine and feminine aspects of our lives. So sometimes when we have to be, we're not who we are. So when we're being more aggressive than we normally have to be, you've got to put your foot down with people, and then you don't get to be loving and nurturing. You're just always kind of, doing one thing. We can feel out of sync. So this is time to kind of like, okay, I had to go through this period, but now it's time to bring myself back to center. We keep hearing that through all of these cards, or a lot of these cards. Bring yourself back to center, back into alignment, back into balance, and really be firm and strong in that center place, because that's when you will feel better. It's when things will flow better. Life will be easier for you. So really bring that in. Hi, Mary Ellen. Nice. So your card is reaction. So reaction is how we respond to our environment. And when someone is in a reactionary state, it means that we're taking things personally. So when somebody says things, we react. And when we are triggered by old energy, we react. And we take it personally, or we make assumptions, and we judge other people, or they judge us. So this is a time for you to check in and feel whether your reaction is appropriate. Not that there's a right or wrong, but whether it's really just what's happening now, or whether there's more to it. And when there's more to it, then you have old energy connected to that type of thought or that type of pattern that's ready to clear. So when we're in a reactive space, we're not in love, we're in fear. And when we're in fear, it is when we get more angry and more defensive, and we don't listen. We don't hear. We can't hear what's being said, because we just are responding to the tone of something being said. So just tap into that, because it can cause you to grieve more, be sadder, or be madder than is necessary. All right. And I got Carol. Hi, Mary. Mary, your card is dependability. So this is how we check in to the balance of our relationships. When somebody is dependable, when they say they're going to do something and they actually do it, then we don't have to react, right? We know that their word is true, and that they are there for us when they say they're going to be. It doesn't mean we use somebody else as a crutch, because that is something completely different. This means that when we need help, we have someone that we can turn to. And it feels like somebody relatively close to you. It doesn't mean that it's your relationship partner, but there's just somebody who's always got your back. I mean, it can be your best friend, and they're just there for you, whether you're, happy, sad, healthy, sick. They're just there without question. And you are there for other people in that way too, because you don't receive a dependable person unless you are a dependable person. So think of ways that you can be there for somebody else. When you're in a good place, really think about ways you can be there for somebody else, because then in turn, they will be there for you. When you do it for people who are dependable, who have your back. So it's really a give and take energy in relationships. So that's very lovely. Hi, Jacqueline. Glad you could join us. And I'm so glad, Rochelle, you have. Hi, Deb. You're a first-time listener. That's really cool. So welcome to the show. Your card is Influence. And this is a really cool card because it's really hard to see, I'm sorry, on the screen, But at the very top, there's all the different phases of the moon, because we're constantly going through cycles, right? We're constantly going through different energy. We're never stationary. So right now, there's a lot of energy that is connected to you that is influencing your decisions. And it's not always a bad thing, People can influence us, which is fine as long as they have our highest interest involved. But remember that right now we're going through a lot of Earth changes, so that we have 3 planets, I believe, in retrograde. I never remember the numbers. I'm at my physical body is like, I can just feel the halting energy that's causing a little chaos. So, that pullback energy of some of the planets being in retrograde may be affecting you. The fact that we're about to hit the new moon on Friday, you may really be connected to the moon energy or the planet's energy and have been unaware of it. So pay attention to what energy and what people and what things are influencing your decisions and how you live your life, because we actually get to choose whether we allow something to influence us or not. We may feel the planetary shifts, but we don't have to. We can use that energy to propel us forward rather than being a victim to it. I hope that makes sense for you, sweetie. All right, Esperanza. So I'll pull one for you first. So your sweetheart is Clarity. So the Clarity card is really quite simple. This is all about tapping into your third eye. I see amethyst in terms of a crystal helping you with this. And this is a time to allow yourself to get into a space of clear thinking. And it's similar to Deb's card about influence, because sometimes we've allowed people to think for us. And so then we think there are thoughts and our beliefs, and we're really walking around with our parents or, our neighbors, our high school friends. They're still controlling our lives. So this is time for you to kind of sit down and as things come up, it's like, do I still believe that? Does that still feel true for me? And is this what I want to move forward in my life? And really tap into your intuition and allow it to speak for you. Because this is a time where you can really access a lot of third eye energy, a lot of intuition, and get some clarity on all of that, which is really, really awesome. Thank you, Margaret. I'm glad you enjoyed the healing. Karen. Wow, your card, sweetheart, is Friction. And don't take that the wrong way. We can all go into negativity around friction. People are here to challenge us. And this is a time when you're going to literally rub up against something, or someone or some idea. It feels work related. And it's time for change. Just because it's always been done way does not mean it's the right way, right? If we always did things the same way, we would have no new discoveries, right? And so this is a time when there's going to be friction, but check in and notice how you want to react. Because when you're reacting, remember, you're triggered. You are in old energy. Instead, when you have the friction, think about leaning in and going, cool, I'm getting a little agitated. What's that? It means something's trying to change. What's coming up? What wants to shift? And use that friction to propel change, to propel you to change, to propel you and your environment and your job and your relationships to change. Because nothing's going to happen easily. There's always going to be that little rub up against each other. So don't see it as a bad thing. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And so look for that energy to be coming up if it hasn't already, and see it as an opportunity for change. That's what friction's all about, an opportunity to do things differently. Nice. Margaret said, thank you, I'm so excited. And she's, Michelle said, nope, thank you, I really need to hear this. You're right on, good. Yes, Jacqueline, you can have a card. So Jacqueline, your card is repetition. So some of us have to go through learning by doing it over and over again. And that's not a bad thing. Think about, I was a dancer for a number of years and a dance teacher, and you didn't just learn how to jump and turn by doing it once. You did it over and over and over. And at each time you did it, you cranked it up a notch. You found one more thing to work on, one more thing to give you a little bit more. So when things are coming up, don't go into the energy of, oh no, not this again, because we do that sometimes. This is like when that thing comes up, like, oh cool, I get a chance to do it a different way than I did it before. And know that repetition only happens when we're trying to reach perfection on something. And usually that's one of our soul lessons, is how to become a master at certain things. So you cannot have mastery without going through it over and over and over again. So if you have things coming up that have happened before, just allow that to be there and think of ways to do it differently. Because obviously if it's coming up again, it didn't work out so well the last time. And that's true for all of us. Thank you, Neshi, for sharing. This is my website, trinityhealingsanctuaries.com. This is where you can reach out to me to get healing. I do it online. I do it by distance. And to get, readings or some of the healing remedies that are out there, because a number of people can use that. Beth said I was spot on. Thank you. And then Neshi is saying how I'm one of the contributing writers. My July article is about spiritual independence. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So here is the link to Star Nations to be able to get that. And spiritual independence, for a couple of you who are having relationship energy around differentiation and that type of thing, are coming back into balance in relationships. That article is amazing. There was a different energy that was working with me on that article, and it was quite something. So I hope you enjoy it. I'm glad you liked your card, Jim. Marilyn, nice to see you. Glad you're here. And of course, here you are toward the end. So your card is ready but waiting. You can't make this up. So that's where you are right now. You've done a lot of prep work energetically in your life. And so you're in a place of stasis. And our inner child can get a little bored here. They get impatient. We want things to happen quickly and on time and when we want it. And yes, you're ready. But the divine is giving you perfect timing. And we don't know when that is. And so there is some surrender that happens. So allow yourself to be in a place of ready to go, but not going yet. And be thankful that you have this time to reboot, recharge, and replenish your energy, so that when you have to go and when you have to act, you are ready to do so. So this is lovely, because this feels like a new bump of energy for you, an expansion. So nice. Neshi was laughing over efficiency. She's handing off the ironing. I think that is a fabulous idea. I actually handed off my cleaning. I hired somebody to do cleaning for me because it's the thing I hate the most. So why do it? Other people like to do it and they're good at it. So I hired somebody to do it, and the universe provided me with double the income that I needed to pay for it. So that's what happens when you do something for yourself. So I say do it. Get somebody to come do your ironing. Maybe even all your laundry. So Colleen, your card, sweetheart, is specialization. So we all have our abilities and our gifts and what we are meant to do. And it kind of, when we first start out doing it, it can be a kind of general thing. So I'm just going to use myself as an example because I'm not getting a full read on yours. But it's probably because it's related. So initially, I started as a healer. You know, when I started to wear my healer, when I took my dance teacher crown off and put my healer crown on, I was a generalized healer. That didn't last very long, by the way. And it became really clear that my work was working with healers. And then it became really clear that I'm meant to clear a lot of trauma. So I do a lot of work with people with post-traumatic stress or really severe physical or emotional ailments. You know, I work with schizophrenics and things like that to bring their energy back into balance. So I specialize, right? Because I have this niche that's mine that I'm able to tap into. And you have been operating in kind of a broad category. So now it's time for you to hone in on what you are meant to do and how you are meant to do it. You don't have to be everything for everyone. That's the big thing I keep hearing. You know, we try to be everything that everybody wants from us, and then we're not in alignment with who we are. So stop people pleasing other people and hone in on what you're good at and what you love to do. If you don't love to do it, don't do it. And that will start to narrow down what you're doing and how you're doing it, and it'll make room for more abundance and more joy really to enter into your life. So cool. All right, Kathleen. Wow, we are going to it. I'm glad you guys are still here, even if you're watching in the archives. So your card, Kathleen, is brilliance. So this is your time to really tap into your heart and shine your light. You have some special gifts, and maybe you haven't been shining them as brightly as you could be. We tend to want to be in hiding or play it small. So this is a time for you to stretch and really turn into who you are meant to be. Because if you don't shine your light, you know, you are here. We each have our own unique light, and we're all here to shine. And, you know, your light is lighting the way for somebody else who's in darkness. And if we're not out there shining, then somebody else is in darkness because they need your light to shine. So get out there and be your brilliant self, because we need you. And if you need help healing any aspect of that, you know, check, you know, into the archives of other shows, or just message me, because you have this big thing and it's sort of sitting in your third chakra and it's ready to be birthed. So it's time to get it out of there and into the world. So nice. Oh, Mary, I'm so glad it was the first time you got to hear my show. Very nice. Thank you, Deb. Yes, Abigail, sorry. I am pulling cards. So your card is absence. Pretty funny. So absence is when we get into a place of missing what was. And that's when our energy is looking behind and not ahead. Because when we are looking ahead, we aren't missing anything. We're in a waiting expectation kind of way. So when we feel something's missing, then we are looking into the past. And if someone is not in your presence and in your life at this moment, and your heart is missing them, you know, because they're not here with you, it doesn't mean they're not in your heart. It means that right in this moment, you were supposed to have this experience without them in it, because it was not part of their life experience to have it this time with you in this moment. So don't be sad, I guess, is the bottom line, that it's okay to miss someone, and want to connect with them, but you don't have to reminisce about old times with that person and feel a hole as if something's missing, because remember, you're complete. There's nothing missing from you. So it is just their energy and their presence that allows you to feel full in certain ways. They're not diminishing or taking a piece away from you. So very cool. So Karen is commenting. Caroline, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I missed you, sweetheart. So yours, I don't know if I said your name right, Caroline. So yours is perception. So perception is our interpretation, how we take in the information. So when we hear things, when we see things, when we touch things, when we feel things, when we know things, they're all our personal perception. And when things aren't aligning the way we want them to, it's because we need to shift our perception, which means altering the energy that you're connecting to through your intuition. It means your senses, your 6 senses, your 5 senses plus your intuition maybe aren't working as a spiritual team at the moment. So you can meditate also with the amethyst, because that helps for clarity, and really try to use your intuition to make your judgments and your decisions. And notice whether being around certain people, you change your perceptions. Are you allowing others to influence your decisions? Because, when we hang out with our friends, we might think one thing about a situation, and then when we're hanging out with our family, we may have a completely different point of view. That's when we're allowing our perception to be shifted and altered. So I'm feeling a little fluctuation there for you. So really tune into your heart and allow it to guide you. Nice. Renee, no, you're not too late. We're going and going till we're done. So your card is stretch. Nice. So my dear, you've been hiding. It is time for you to stretch past your comfort zone. We all have big dreams and big visions, but are we matching it with big action? And if you aren't matching it with big action, then it is time to change your strategies, and it is time to find ways to stretch. So reach out to your tribe and allow them to help you. Maybe tap in and see, how do you see me? Because often our closest, dearest friends actually see us bigger and fuller than we have even imagined ourselves. So what may seem like this huge stretch to us, our friends are like, well, yeah, of course. I always saw that in you. So you're playing in a little bit of a small container. And so when we need to stretch, we're usually holding on to some old fear. And I know you've heard that before. So really, really allow yourself to come out of the box. Isn't it a little old? We're all done. So thank you, Kathleen. I'm glad you got a little push. Abby heard things she needed to hear. All right, so Deborah, motion is your card. You're not too late. Your hair exactly at the right time for you. So it's time for you to get into some flow. You've been stuck for a little while, and it is time for you to create some movement. And if you can't imagine how to do it, the first thing that I tell my clients and my students to do is go home and clean your closet. Get rid of stuff. Donate things that you don't like, that don't fit, that you don't feel amazing in. Do it with your closet. Do it with your dresser drawers. Because as we release things that don't fit, whether it's physically, emotionally, or spiritually, then we create movement. And you need a bunch of movement to do. This is not just movement. This is like motion. This is like you need to go from walking to being, a high-speed train. So start working on, clearing up the clutter in your life, inside of you and outside of you, and then things will start going at a speed that you are going to be amazed by. So I do this every time I feel stuck. I clean something, I move something, I do something. So I invite you to do the same. Phew! All right, you guys, you wore me out a little bit tonight. So thank you for those of you guys who stayed with me late. I really appreciate it, and I'm thankful that you held space for people to show up and get the reading that they needed and the healing that they needed. I want to let people know that next week on Tuesday for chakra sessions, my broadcast will be at 7 p.m. at night, not at 12 noon. And then it'll be followed immediately by Communications from Home with Neshi. We will be back to back next Tuesday. So that way I can enjoy spending time with my gorgeous godmother and her bestie, Beth, and even with my mom. And as, things happen in life, you create the change that you need to really come into balance. And so that is how I'm bringing my physical and my spiritual life into balance, because that is what's going to work for me, and allow me to be here for you as you go through your healing. So thank you for staying tuned. Please like and share this so that we can reach more people, because it is, part of my spiritual purpose to help heal the healers and get you guys back doing and being who you are meant to be. And with that, you guys, sending you lots of love and lots of healing, and have a great night. All right. Bye now.